You've probably heard that what you're looking for is what is looking. Or what you're looking for is already here, already the case. And this is completely true. There's actually nothing that those thoughts of seeking reference. The thoughts that say I'm going to get this or that set of conditions don't reference anything specific. Perhaps you could say they reference other thoughts. But in the so-called external world, or the so-called actual, there's nothing there, nothing out there that those thoughts represent. The world of thought is a world of reflection. And the world of reflection can't know that which it's trying to reflect, or that which it's inaccurately reflecting. So part of that inaccuracy in the reflection is the sense of time. When we extrapolate time, or we impute time onto experience, then there's a possibility of getting something new, getting something different, or getting something better in the future. Now, it can seem like letting go of a lot when we let go of the belief that we're going to get something better in the future. But if we let go deep enough, what we really let go of is the sense that there is something better that I need to get. And if we let go even deeper, we see that the sense of lack, the sense of something being wrong in the first place, such that I need to seek anything at all, is also an error. And that error is based on a few fundamental misperceptions. One of separation, that there's something back here experiencing a bunch of experiences, situations, people, objects out there. That's a misperception. There's also the misperception that time exists, that there's some imagined future that I'm moving toward, or that we're all moving toward. This is a profoundly distorting belief or experience. But when it's seen through, it leaves you, and not a separate you, and really not a sense of a conscious you, but practically speaking, it leaves you in a place of timelessness, eternity perhaps. You could say everything slows down or everything stops. But simply stated, the experience of immediacy and intimacy is not stretched out over some impossible time frame such that it feels like most of reality is not here right now. Most of reality is in the past or the future. That's an uncomfortable experience. Instead, there's this absolute intimacy. Just this. Only here. Complete simplicity, but an intimate and satisfying simplicity. There's nothing to chase. Nothing to find. Nothing to perfect. There's just perfection. Just expression. Just profound, vivid, non-dualistic experience. The profundity is very hard to describe because it's not a profundity of meaning or purpose. It's nothing mental, nothing cognitive, nothing philosophical. It's self-obvious, self-validating, complete feeling. The impossibility of incompleteness is obvious. The impossibility of otherness is obvious. The impossibility of a beginning and an end is obvious. The impossibility of lack and of curing that lack is obvious. The impossibility of being apart from Buddha nature, awake nature, the unconditioned, is obvious. There's no way to be apart. There's no gap. There's no apartness. There are no objects. There's no subject. It may seem like that leaves nothing, but there's also not something called nothing. That's a mistake. A trap sometimes we fall into when we start to see through the illusion that thoughts construct. But we still are taking identity from that space, from that apparent inner world. It can feel empty, nihilistic, uncomfortable, or just we can conclude there's nothing. There's no one, there's nothing to do. But that's an illusion. There's not no one. There's not someone. There's not everything. There's not no thing. Because there aren't things. There's no other possibility. So there's no way to speak about this, really. Perhaps you could say unconditioned by the mind. It's one of the best ways I've heard to describe. Unconditioned by thought, concept, and illusion. Unconditioned by delusion. Unconditioned by ignorance. What is unconditioned? That's a great question. Could use it as a koan or an inquiry. What is unconditioned right here, right now, in my experience? What is not conditioned by the mind? What is not conditioned by the illusion of time? What is not conditioned by the illusion of space or boundaries or division? What is not conditioned by belief at all? What is not touched by thought? What is not touched by spiritual understanding, spiritual accomplishments? All of that's in the past. What is not touched by the apparent past and the apparent future? What is the unconditioned?